this is actually the first ever video inside this server where I'm going to be teaching you the basic rules of buying an item. And that's going to be covered in today, what makes a good deal. Okay, so no further ado, we're going to get straight into it, but I really hope this video actually works out this time. I do apologise about the last video, it was absolutely terrible and I could not bear anyone watching the bad quality. This one though, which is over this way, way better, 100 times better. And thank you for everyone who has supported me through my problem of trying to find a good app that I can actually record on. I finally found it thanks to you guys, so I really appreciate the help. Let's get into today's video though. Very important, actually, very important. Alright, on to the first slide. So, sniping cheap deals is the real deal. I'm telling you now, it is the real deal. Because nowadays, people always tell me, well, when I first made this server, everyone was like, well, why are you making it, you know? All you need to do is buy off-site and sell on-site. But you won't make any more than $300 a month by just finding average rates and reselling them on the websites because of these 4 reasons, you know? Demand, looks, UGC limiteds, and inflation. So, without further ado, let's go to the first one. Oh, my apologies, I did miss out this slide. Okay, so, how do you avoid these 4 mistakes? Well, the next slide, I promise you the next slide, I will show you exactly the 4 things you can do to avoid every single one of these mistakes. However, there is something I need to tell you, and the fact that it is very important to avoid these 4 mistakes you can easily deal with, because once you do face one or more of these problems, it becomes a nightmare to resolve. And I would like to say that it has become a very a stress for me in the past through, you know, going through it as a first timer. But when I keep going through them, it's like, you know, I know solutions and I know how to get through them nicely, but here's where it does rely on the consequences. And you know, if you are lucky to get around these problems, you are going to make a small profit, not the usual one. And it's something I have only just found out around how to actually resolve that, but I'm not going to talk about it in today's video. But for you guys, if you do still get around this problem, you are only going to be making around $25 to $50 a week, depending on what item it is that you did resolve, instead of making the usual $300 to $500 per week, which is what you will be making around once you do understand the Roblox market. So without any ado, let's go see the first one. So the first problem you may go through is demand. Now, demand is probably one of the most important of the other 3, because the same rules apply to trading items for items if you were to cash your limiteds out for USD. So what do I mean by that? I mean how you usually trade without, I suppose, going over the Roblox TOS. You know, usual trading by trading, you'd have to make sure that you're using high demand items. You know, no one's going to want anything low demand that looks ugly or something like that, you know what I mean? So yeah, and I say here, you can't just buy any item and be confident it will sell. Now, there is a solution that I've got for this, to avoid accidentally getting yourself into a low demand item that some sneaky bugger is probably going to try and sell you. So if you want to check out an item to see if it is safe to get demand wise, then here are the best 3 sites that you can check out: Adurite.com and Row.place. You can check out those sites to see what sells quite a lot. It's what I do very occasionally, every single day. I'll eat my lunch, or I'll eat some food, or like my daily dinner, or whatever it is. Whilst I'll be on my computer checking out just to see, you know, what's selling in the market at the moment, because most of the time you will be doing that. You'll be always keeping track of what's selling. If you buy an item and it doesn't sell anymore, you're screwed. You know, you've just lost a lot of money. You've lost an opportunity to actually move on to the next stages of your Roblox career. Well, Roblox career. I mean, like buying and reselling, that type of thing. Now, some of you may already know those 2 websites, but they can be 100% helpful. Now, to check the item specifically, to see if it's generally in demand, you can go to rollermons.com, and that will tell you a lot more information about the item itself. Instead of just what's selling and what's not, it will tell you about when it was made, etc. like that. You might also already know Rollermons, but it is still really good to check out. Just saying that. But yeah, I've always been using those three and I've had no problems whatsoever. You guys will not need to be using any more than those three sites. 100% guarantee. So number 2. Yeah, okay. So number 2 is locks. I get really annoyed about this. But every day there is always someone new who wants to online date in Roblox. It happens, you know. And this is why it's always been one of the reasons sellers have been making $300 to $3,500 a week, depending on their budget, right? Everyone has a different budget, so they're going to make different profits. However, it can also be a huge problem because online daters always like to be within the trend. And this kind of relates back to demand, but in a different way. Here's why. Problems with that is influencers on social media can control what online daters want and dislike. Meaning that they don't really make decisions for themselves because they're quite stupid in the head. Now, if you do online date and you're on the server, I'm not saying you're stupid, right? I'm not saying that. But 90% of the people that don't even buy and sell or just want limiteds just to keep, you know, they don't make decisions for themselves what they like and what they don't like. They like to go from what other people think. So what they will go and do is they'll go and listen to influencers on social media, and they will control what, you know, online daters are going to want and what to avoid to make themselves cool or in trend with the looks, you know. And it can happen when you buy a limited, which is quite dangerous because let's say, you know, you've been spending a lot of time trying to get this limited for an online date, and all of a sudden he says a YouTube channel or a video, and he's like, oh, you know what, bro, I don't really want it anymore. It's dying, you know. I'm not gonna lie, it's dying, you know. It's pretty dead now. And you spend, you know, like 3 to 4 days trying to find someone with that limited, and all of a sudden he just turns back and goes no, and you've overpaid for it because you know that he's gonna overcharge for it, and now he doesn't want it. You're gonna have a hard time. Now you can realize because you can try and find other online daters that'll buy it, and they'll probably say no because they've also seen the video. It gets worse. I swear it gets worse, and I've also been through this as well, because there is also a lot of people that do keeping track of these online daters, meaning the people who don't online date will also want 100% avoid the item unless they're smart and they do figure out a way to resell it. So, you know, you've really got to be making sure you're watching these videos to seeing if this item is actually safe to get, that you can easily get off your hands quick as possible to make some money. Good profits if you're not in any of the other dangers. So looks is a very important one, but it's also a very confusing rule to the demand. A lot of people can get confused with it. Now, demand and looks, they're two completely different rules, so please do not get confused with them both, because a lot of people do get in that muddle up space. So, off to the third rule. I'm going to say this right now. My brothers in arms, they and myself, we all hate this. Fake limiteds, or as other people would call them, UGC limiteds. It's fake, it's crap. It's full of scumbags. So yeah, sorry, it's pretty late for me right now. I'm pretty tired, but don't mind me. So yeah, UGC limiteds is the it's the one I absolutely hate about Roblox. But why is it bad for the market? Users who have been wanting to buy limiteds have now been put off from getting the ones that random people have been copies of and sold for either 500 Robux or $10. Now, they don't sell real ones for 500 Robux. They make them like a UGC. They'll make like what do you call it? They'll make individual parts for it, and then when they equip all these like Lego pieces together, I was gonna say, for example, Lego pieces, it will literally look like a limited. Like, no joke, it's ridiculous how realistic they look compared to the actual limited. It's ridiculous. But it has also decreased a lot of the people from also USD buying them, because they don't want to get in, you know, they don't want to buy well, they don't want to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for a limited that they can get for $20 instead if they're not a reseller. Now, majority of these, if you are going to be selling on site, majority of these people will not be reselling once they buy on site. They're going to be keeping the item, okay? 99.9% will be keeping the item and not reselling it if they buy on places like Row.place or Agirai, which is why it's really important to really stay away from the limiteds that do get copied a lot, because you're not going to be able to sell it very quickly. However, it does not mean that it's over, because Roblox does take down other limiteds, like for example the Playful Vampires or Dominus Vesps. They're just a couple of items I made for example. But it does mean that they cannot be made by some random scumbag that decides to make thousands of dollars off. But I am going to tell you now to really, really please avoid the items that can be impersonated, which basically means fake. You know, I probably used a very bad word. I should have used something else other than impersonated, to be honest with you. But on to the last one, the last rule, okay? Inflation. This is one I really got stuck in. 3 years ago I got stuck in this when I was a Robux seller. Now, you will really need to be careful on days like when Headless Horseman gets released. Some of you already know this, but this also goes for any other special occasions on Roblox that people will buy lots of Robux for. If it's maybe a special item that's coming on sale for the first time and after 10 years or something, and it looks awesome, I don't know. And you know, sellers who have been in the market for a while are smart and will change values of limited and Robux rates. Not the value of the item, but the value of their prices that everybody else will change as well. Excuse me, but they will also change that. And if you're going to buy something for a high rate and you're only making maybe from now, because of this event, 20 cents per, I don't know, for example, 5,000 Robux, well, no, per 1,000 Robux, sorry, then you're going to have a difficult time making a lot of money through the month. It has been pretty tight for me. When I first started, I completely screwed up. It is something that cannot be fixed if you have bought a lot from, and unfortunately you will have to just accept that you're not going to make a lot of money throughout this event. However, you can also be making 10 times more profit if you are smart with it. So always keep an eye out for the Roblox events, as it can either make you 10 times more profit or can give you a very unlucky month. I'm going to give you an example of a very lucky month I had, which was last year when Headless Horseman came out. I think I made an extra $600, I'm pretty sure. I made an extra, usually on an average day when I used to sell Robux, I was making around $450 a month. But in 1 week I made $600 just because I was smart with how I was getting my Robux and then reselling it. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on the video when I'm going to talk about those occasions. I don't even know if I'm going to want to be doing that as of now, because I want you guys to go through, understand what you should be avoiding first before I even tell you any smart decisions. So yeah, that was the 4 rules, which means, you know, it is the end of the lesson. This has been so much of a better video to make, and it makes a lot more sense. Definitely going to be making more of these. However, guys, please tell me if there's anything wrong with these videos, or if there's anything wrong with this server. Please DM me, or you know, mention me inside of the server, and you know, give me some feedback if you like it, if you don't like it, and if you don't like it, what do you dislike about. I'm taking everyone's, you know, problems and what they like about it. I'm going to put them into the server, because you guys gave the time to actually go onto my profile, click on the Discord server link, because you want to make money, and I'm going to really help you guys. I'm going to make it happen, right? I'm going to make it happen for you guys 100%. It's a 100% promise. I'm not going to disappoint you, right? So please, however, if you don't tell me what I need to do to improve, I can't help you. So it works both ways, you know. If you want to be making money, please tell me what I'm doing wrong, or please tell me what I'm doing right as well, so I can also improve what's already right to make it even better, so you guys can also be making even more money. But apart from that, that is going to be the end of today's video, which has been 15 minutes long, which hopefully isn't too long. But this is going to be a really, really good video, so I do recommend, you know, giving me some feedback on what it was like, because it is a long video. And yeah, that's going to be it. So I hope this was good. And yeah, I look forward to what you guys thought about it. If it gave you any value, please let me know. Peace.